Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you for joining me today. It's Monday, so you already know it's time to kick it off with some motivation. Here's the quote. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people." That was Luke 2:10. The holiday season brings different emotions for different people, whether it's excitement about reuniting with family, sadness from the loss of a loved one, hopeful optimism about the magic of holiday cheer and traditions, or perhaps depression from loneliness. Just remember, this season of holiday spirit is meant to spark a special joy from within. So whatever you are feeling during this week, don't let it take your joy. Throw on some holiday movies, make a warm beverage, and do some self-care. If all the gifts aren't perfectly wrapped, it's okay. If you don't have a spouse to cozy up with, it's okay. If you are over the top with your decor and your celebrations, guess what? It's okay. Just enjoy yourself. Appreciate the simple things. Reflect on all the good and let your joy shine through. Now on to the show. If you love TV series and want some new suggestions on what to watch, I have a treat for you today. I am joined by WANE 15's Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri to chat all things television. No weather talk today. Instead, we're dishing on what's popular shows that we recommend and some that we don't. Then we are continuing to dive into the services and specialties available at Riley Children's Health. And joining me in studio is Dr. Tamika Rosema, their pediatric cardiologist. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
Over Christmas and New Year's break is the best time to catch up on your favorite TV shows or find some new ones. So today I am so thrilled to have WANE 15's Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Ferreri with me and my TV talking pal. Hello.
Hello, Jessica.
How are you?
Very good. Good morning.
Good.
We love TV, don't we?
We do love TV
Yeah.
so much. I'm like, okay, Nicholas, what are you watching? We're always like, what are you watching? Let's swap shows. And so I thought it would be fun to chat and give our viewers some recommendations.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Yes. Okay. So going into this year, there were so many new shows dropping, which I'm so excited about because sometimes I do feel that the summer gets a little stale.
True.
And
Yes.
they wait so late to drop new shows. And so, of course, since we're on CBS, we can start with some CBS shows. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I'm currently watching.
Okay.
Well, number one, The Equalizer.
Okay, yes.
The
I never
Equalizer.
have gotten into that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so with Queen Latifah, okay, this was a reincarnated show based off the Denzel Washington movie. He has 3 Equalizer movies, and she came, and I believe she's on season 5. They just premiered season 5 back in October, and it's so fun because she's like an ex-CIA agent, and she has a family, but she's like trying to be a mom and a niece while also taking on cases and trying to save people, kind of like a vigilant, what's it called? A vigilante.
Yeah.
And so she takes on these cases through a hotline, and she's going around, making all these moves, fighting, and just, trying to be a savior to those who don't have any help.
Okay.
So it's good. And I was really impressed by how Queen Latifah really played that role.
Yeah, well, she looks powerful in those promos that I see.
Right.
I watch Tracker, which is on the same night, same
is.
Sunday nights here on
Yes.
Channel 15. Now, Tracker's good.
Okay.
The Tracker has Justin Hartley from, a lot of people know him from This Is Us or Passions on NBC years ago. And he's trying to track down, he's like a bounty hunter. So it's kind of solving a mystery every week where these people are. Can he track them down? Good stories
How
there.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, what about Elsbeth?
Elsbeth, I watch Elsbeth.
Okay,
I love
me too.
Elsbeth. Now, Elsbeth was on The Good Wife. Did you watch Good Wife?
I did not.
And so she was just kind of this fringe character, appeared every now and then. And so she comes in, and she's trying to solve a mystery. She's working with the police force now. She's not really focused so much on her law career.
Okay.
And she's just a very unique person. She is very hard to describe.
Right.
So
quirky.
she uses her quirks to put these mysteries together. And what's different about Elsbeth in comparison to other murder mystery shows is all of us see the crime at the beginning. So we know what has happened, and then we see how Elsbeth pieces it together.
Right. Okay. So how do you feel about that?
I like it.
You do?
Yes,
Okay.
I do like it.
Okay, so the first season I watched, we're on season 2 now, so people can watch. It just came back out in October. And so I did like the concept, but it did feel repetitive,
Oh, sure.
Just in a way of like the main character, the guest character is the one who did it. And then sometimes how the pieces came together, I think sometimes the excitement of suspense and us not knowing makes us say like, oh, so we're second guessing and guessing along with her. It's a fun concept. I'm not going to lie, but I'm like, oh, switch it up a little bit and don't tell us who it is.
You bring up the guest people on the show.
Yeah.
That's an important element because every episode there's a special guest star.
Yeah.
And it's usually someone
big
fairly
name.
big.
Yeah.
So that makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. But so I do like that it's different. And she's such a great actress. Yeah, the lady, she's so good. Okay, so new shows that I have not seen yet from CBS that I want to is Matlock.
Matlock, oh, I watched that one.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
How
now
is
this
it?
one, I don't really remember the old Matlock too much, other than just seeing Andy Griffith
know,
in
it's
my
kinda
mind.
way back.
Yeah, I don't think it has really anything to do with it other than her name, Matlock.
Yes.
So don't
Okay.
let the old series maybe hold you back from watching this. It's good. You'll get roped into it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
she's a firehouse. I can't remember her name. Who's the actress?
Kathy Bates.
Yes, Kathy
Yeah.
Bates. Duh, like she's so good, and
Yes.
so I'm so happy that she's still getting roles, and it seems like she's doing really well in that lead.
Yeah,
so
already
you do
renewed.
recommend?
Already renewed for another year.
Really?
Yes, watch it.
Wow. Okay, so highly recommended by Nicholas. Okay, so let's move over to a couple of other shows. So I love Abbott Elementary.
Yes.
Okay, like that show has won so many Emmys. Do you watch it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the premise of Abbott is a school, right? An underprivileged school, if you will, and it's about the teachers. But they do that whole concept that show. What was it? Community,
And The Office.
In The Office,
Yeah.
breaking the fourth wall. Is that right?
Or the third wall. I don't know.
wall.
We're breaking some wall.
Breaking a wall, bringing you into the fourth wall, which allows for them to kind of like interact with the camera as they're talking to each other. And the editing, the acting, and just the writing is so
Yes.
good.
And if you know anyone who works in education,
Right.
my mom's a retired third grade teacher. What you see there matches the stories you've heard from them
Right.
over the years.
I know. My best friend is a teacher, and she's been, a teacher almost, goodness, for 15, have to be years now. And she loves that show. It gives her so much comedic relief. And Quinta Bronson, who created it and stars in it, worked so hard recently, just a little news, they actually elevated everyone's salary to a really big amount. Not up to the Friends, not $1 million an episode, but she negotiated because they kept winning Emmys.
Sure.
And their ratings are so good. So Abbott Elementary. And then some new shows that have recently come on ABC is High Potential.
Yes.
Okay, you saw that, right?
I've seen the pilot of that one, yeah.
I only got a couple of episodes in. It's very interesting, that concept.
Yes,
How
it
would
is.
you explain it?
Oh, well, we're in like the time of a lot of mysteries with quirky leads.
Yeah.
Especially somewhat quirky female leads. We talked about Elsbeth, Matlock, different quirks there. And then you have High Potential, where you have this woman who's really brilliant.
Yes.
But, working as a cleaning lady,
Yeah.
putting everything together.
Yeah, so it starts off with her just kind of jamming in the office,
Yes,
cleaning.
it's a good scene.
Right. And then she's looking at all these clues, and because she has such a high IQ, they just all came together, and she's like, wait, that's not the victim, that's the murderer. And she starts to rearrange, and the cop comes in, he's like, who did this? And she ended up helping them solve the case and then get a job. So that's fun. Okay, and then Dr. Odyssey.
Yes.
Okay, that's a different concept.
It's a different concept.
Your
and
face.
it's a disappointment.
Oh, you don't like it?
I want to like it so bad because it has echoes of Love Boat.
Yeah.
In theory, they're on a ship.
Yeah.
I love cruises, but it's a little too serious, a little too dramatic, a little too odd for me.
Well, listen, I've only seen a couple of episodes of it, and I was a little disappointed in just how the storyline was a little fast and then slow. But I was excited about seeing Joshua.
I know, Joshua Jackson,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's good. And then who plays the main character, I cannot think of her name. She's actually from the original Hamilton.
Oh, yes.
She is from the original Hamilton, and so she's so good. And she's such a great singer. I wish they would use her in that capacity, but I'm still giving it a try. I'm 2 episodes in.
Right. If
Okay.
you like Grey's Anatomy, you may like this because it's medical.
Yeah.
But it's a little more dramatic, I think,
It
than
is.
Grey's Anatomy, which is plenty dramatic on its own.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about some that you're watching.
Okay, it's holidays. People want to watch things over the holidays. What can I recommend? Land of Women, Apple TV, also Acapulco. I don't hear anybody talking about Acapulco.
I've
It's a
never heard
great
of
show.
that.
Both of those shows, though, are half English, half Spanish. Don't worry, there are subtitles if
Oh,
you need
Land
it.
of Woman. Eva Longoria.
Yes.
Eva. Yes, I did actually start watching that.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Son of a Critch on the CW. It's you got to stream it right now on the
Okay.
CW app. That is so good. You like Young Sheldon? This is like Young Sheldon if Young Sheldon lived in Canada and was Catholic. A lot of Canadian and Catholic humor. That's a good family one. You can see the episodes and just watch them all. That'll be a fun family binge.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so a couple of the ones that I really have been enjoying is Crime Scene Kitchen. Crime Scene Kitchen.
Are you putting those mysteries together?
Yes, I am, and it's so fun. That show brings me so much joy. And number one, you have to be eating while you're watching because you're going to get hungry. But basically, they put all these dessert splats and mystery clues, and these professional chefs or sometimes home chefs have to come in and use little bitty clues to make the whole dish, and not only make the right dish, but make it look like it in decoration. And just the expertise of these chefs are just absolutely amazing. So that's a must see. And then Linus Special Ops, that comes on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, how is that?
I really love that. Like my mom had recommended it to me because we have similar TV palettes, and it's with Zoe Saldana and Nicole Kidman and this other woman. So it's a female lead, and it's about them kind of being in the higher ranks of combat ops and having to go under this. Go undercover and support this agent undercover in 2 different levels of rankings. And it's so creative, it just really pulls you in. So the 2nd season is out now, so I'm excited about that. And then, of course, Christmas movies, right?
Yes.
Do you like a good Christmas movie?
You're going to make me admit that here on Living Local 15. Yes, I thought no, but then over Thanksgiving I was watching something, I got sucked into it.
Okay, yeah, it's so good now. Like I feel like that enterprise is really taking over.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
It's beyond Hallmark now.
Yes,
Like the best spot I feel is like Netflix. They just have it all. You just go there and it's just covered with it. And they have all the types. And what I love too, Nicholas, is the storylines are getting more and more unique.
That's true.
This is not the same.
Yes, it's
As
not
it always
all gingerbread and sugar cookies.
Right.
Right?
Right, exactly. Okay, well, those were really great TV recommendations. Oh my God, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For coming and joining me
Thank
and
you for
talking
inviting
TV.
me.
Yes. And if you would like more on our TV recommendations, then you can head over to wayne.com/livinglocal15 and happy TV watching. I'll see you after the break.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
This segment sponsored by Riley Children's Health. We are continuing our exploration of Riley Children's Health, which provides access to pediatric, primary, and specialty care across Indiana. And here to tell us all about specific services is Dr. Tamika Rosema, who is the pediatric cardiologist. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, doctor?
Great, how are you?
Good. Okay, so I would love to dive into your specialty and really how you service kids, which are just so precious, right?
Yes, they are.
The perfect age to seek care, but they need so much care.
Yep.
So how do you serve them as a cardiologist?
So we serve them in a couple different ways. With children, there is a wide range of heart conditions that they may have, such as conditions that they are born with that require ongoing care, or they can develop conditions over time. So our subspecialty allows us to really cover that gamut.
Yeah. And so just on the basis, I mean, you are a specialist, and so I'm sure you see just an array of things. So can you share just probably some of the conditions that you primarily see?
So we see babies that are born with heart problems, or say a baby isn't growing very well. One of the things that providers will think of, could there be something wrong with their heart? To children with murmurs, which just means heart sound that we hear with our stethoscope, to, adolescents complaining of chest pain or feeling lightheaded or dizzy, to, children that are admitted in the hospital with an inflammation of their heart.
And we talked before, as we were getting to know the location and just the fact that there are specialists that travel from Indianapolis, but you're right here.
We
home
are.
in Fort
Yes,
Wayne.
I am. I am based local here, stay here in Fort Wayne, and then I do actually travel to 2 outpatient clinics in Muncie and Richmond, but I am based in Fort Wayne, part of the community.
Yeah, which is great. And with this location being around for 6 years, how do you feel it's, why is it important to have this type of access here in Fort Wayne?
That's a great question. Because the care of children from a heart perspective could be vast. Some of our babies have to be seen every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And could you imagine having to travel down to Indianapolis every 2 weeks for, 2 hours there, 2 to 3 hour for a visit, and then back, and thinking about the parents having to take off work, the other children missing school or extracurricular activities because of the travel. So with us being here locally, we really can help come around the community and keep kids here locally for their outpatient care as much as we can.
Yeah, and let's talk about really what that appointment looks like with you. And what are the steps and some of the tests that you have to just really conduct to get an overall analysis of what they need, or dive deeper into specific curing?
Yeah, so when you think of a visit with a pediatric cardiologist, it is not a quick visit, unfortunately. Sometimes it can be 1 to 2 hours, depending on the type of testing that we do, and we always talk with our families beforehand to let them know to be prepared. So when they come to our clinic, they will have, the stack of paperwork like everybody does, and then we'll measure their height, their weight, we'll check their blood pressure and their heart rate, and then the first test that we usually do is called an EKG, which is the test that has all of those stickers that go on the chest that tell us about the rhythm of the heart. And then if they need a heart ultrasound, or what we call an echo, then they can go across the hallway in the same building and get the heart ultrasound done there. Takes about a half hour or so, and we're watching as that test is being done. So if additional pictures need to be taken, we can go over and take them, and then we head back to the clinic space and to the room, and we go over all of the testing with the family right then and there. So they leave with the diagnosis, they leave with the plan, they leave with what the testing concluded, and then, next steps.
Okay, wow, I love that. All in-house.
We
So
try
convenient.
to do one-stop shopping for sure. Makes it so much easier than having to go back and forth and having to take off work to get testing done and then coming back. So no, we like to do it all in one spot.
Yes, and so of course with kids, there's a range of things that could be wrong, and I'm sure especially new parents are looking and they're checking and they're trying to make sure their child is healthy. So are there any known symptoms or just things that parents can look out for in advance to indicate if their child may have a heart condition?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I would say it kind of depends on the age of the child. So for babies, the things to watch for with them would be if they're breathing fast and not like at all the time, but really around feeding. So for a baby, feeding for them is like running a marathon for you or I. So you could imagine if you were running a marathon 8 times a day, you'd be breathing fast, your heart rate would be fast, you wouldn't be growing very well because you're breathing and doing all of these things. So for babies, it's really, are they not growing? Are they taking a really long time to feed? Are they breathing fast? For older kids, it's similar, but now it's around periods of exertion. So say they used to run, a lot with their friends, and now they're stopping. And they're stopping to catch their breath, or they're just saying, I just don't feel good. Those are the things that we really watch for. And then in adolescence, the things that we watch for are most intrigued by are when children have symptoms, again, during periods of exertion. So whether it's chest pain or passing out when they're exerting themselves, those are usually the red flags that we get more interested and concerned that there could be an underlying heart condition.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. And before we wrap, is there anything in particular that you want to share to parents that are watching that may be considering Riley's Children's Health or didn't even know that it was an option? What do you want them to take away from this?
Yeah, so what I would hope that they would take away is that Riley Children's Hospital is committed to Fort Wayne. And myself and my partner are very adamant in pushing to say we need to do as much as we can here locally. The community deserves it. And we're hopeful that as more people hear about us, that we can prove to the administration and the powers that be that it is worthwhile to really invest in Fort Wayne. Us in the pediatric cardiology division are not moving, we're not leaving, we're here to stay. And we're hopeful that as more people hear about us, that more subspecialists, and that's happening, more subspecialists are wanting to come locally because they're seeing the power and the benefit of keeping families local. And that is, and I'm so grateful for that, that's the focus of Riley now. And then from a heart perspective, yes, it's very scary to be told that you have to see a pediatric cardiologist. That can encompass a lot of different things. So just, be wary of Dr. Google. Kids aren't little adults. So yes, they may be saying, I have chest pain, but that doesn't mean they're having a heart attack. Or they may say, my heart feels like it's beating fast, but that doesn't mean that there's an abnormal heart rhythm. So take a step back. Check your own pulse, like we say, when a scary situation is happening, and then just say, okay, to your pediatrician, can I be referred to somebody? And come in with an open mind to what we have to say, and then let us do what we're going to do best.
Right. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Tamika. It's been
Thank
a pleasure,
you.
and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And if you would like more information about Riley Children's Health, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Riley Children's Health.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. But the angel said to them, do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. I hope you have a blessed holiday week, but tune in tomorrow for a special episode of Living Local 15. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.